Hi there. Well, the tip for is a nod to the horror of lockdown locks. And between that and the car key, I suppose I could sort of look as if I'm going on some kind of swinging safari, and that in itself dates me. So let's move swiftly on. Today's character, vlogging her vlog, is Doris Jones. Doris has been there right from the start in Invisible Assassin, and she's had quite a bumpy ride, all things considered. So we've called her blog Bolt from the Blue. I would never have expected to use the words cancer and Doris Jones in the same sentence, but here we are. Right from the time I first found the lump, I was sure it was benign, totally convinced. My biggest health worry was this wretched virus that's sweeping the world, but now it seems I'm more vulnerable to it than ever. Predictably, my son Jonathan said that I should move up to Scotland to be near him and the family, but to be honest, that's the last thing I need. This has been my home for so many years, well, I've actually lost count. But I've got friends here, and I've got a life. Well, a bit more of a life when things are normal, which they're not at the moment, but setting that aside, I have a life here, which I would not have in Scotland. Between ourselves, I have to say I am not a fan of Jonathan's wife. I love my grandchildren, of course, and I would love to see more of them. However, my daughter-in-law is not my cup of tea. She looks down on me, She looks down on me. I'm not good enough. Well, I'm sorry, but I always did what work I could when I was bringing up Jonathan. And for the last few years, I've worked as a cleaner, and I don't see anything demeaning in that. In fact, I actually enjoy the work. I shall miss it, truth to tell. Well, I shall miss the pub more than I shall miss cleaning for Amelia Chalmers. I used to like it in the pub, and I used to have a drink with the old farmers when they came in on market day, which was always good fun. Amelia Chalmers, I'm afraid, thinks she's a cut above the rest of us, and that cuts no ice with me. She didn't really need a cleaner, as it happens, Well, not in my view anyway. Hers is the sort of house that really pretty much takes care of itself, but the money was always handy. Anyway, Penny Jackson is doing that now. I suggested it, actually, and she seems to be quite happy with the arrangement. She's taking on the pub cleaning too. I don't think her husband is too pleased, but as the factory isn't reopening, they need the money. I think her going out to work has helped her get over losing the baby, Well, of course, you don't get over it. No, you don't. But you do learn to live with it. And I think if she'd been stuck inside her own four walls, she would have gone on brooding, and that's not healthy. I'm glad I helped her through it. I really am. And hopefully when we see the back of this threat from this virus, things will buck up for her and her husband. Mind you, they do say that unemployment levels are going to soar as lots of businesses haven't survived lockdown, and those that have are pruning their staff in an effort to reduce overheads as they try and get back on their feet. I hope the pub survives. Dave's worked hard in there. It's going to be very strange for a good while, though, as people will still have to social distance, but I suppose we've got to start living our lives again at some point. I think he was right to have the family down to stay before he rushed into opening. It will have done them all good. Let's face it, it's the first time they've been together since his daughter died. It doesn't seem right somehow, She was young and fit, and yet she succumbed to this wretched thing. People say it's like an assassin, and I reckon that's about right. It was nice to see Carol again, though, and I'm pleased to see she's staying on for a bit. You wouldn't have thought she was his ex-wife, though, the way they carry on together. And I still think they'll make a go of it again. Well, I hope so, anyway. Someone told me that Gigi has taken on that Danny Black up at the garage. I'm sure Gigi knows what he's doing, and maybe the lad just deserves a chance. He didn't have much of a childhood, what with his father taking off and leaving him with his mother. Hit her hard and she hit the bottle. So Danny was left to his own devices most of the time, when he wasn't looking after her, of course. Well, Gigi is nobody's fool. So if the lad knows what's good for him, he'll grab his chance and make the most of it. And if he doesn't, Gigi Greenway will be the person to put him right. Oh well, time for me to get ready for my walk with Emily. She's been a good friend to me, taking me to hospital and so on. I obviously knew her before all this virus malarkey. We were in the book group together and other things like the WI, but since we started walking out together, we've really got to know each other. Oh yes, I'm going to keep walking with her. I'm going to do as much as I can for as long as I can. I know it will be tough, but I will get there. If you don't know what is behind this village blog, it might pay you to take a look on Amazon. Some woman called Rosie Teal wrote and published 4 books about our village in lockdown. Take a look. You might be surprised what you find out. Bye for now.